Hey, what's going on, internet? This is Will, and it is November 8th, 2017, which means it's a day after I saw my doctor. So this would be an interesting video to actually have, so that way I can look back and check on it and see where I am in a year from now, look back at where I was and to see what I was feeling at the time, to see if I feel any different, worse in the future, or better in the future. Now, the camera does not suggest what I feel, so I have to say this in a way where I can understand myself. The chest pain is back, but it's right here, like right here, and that is scary, very scary. I went to go see the doctor yesterday, and he was a really good guy. I went there, I got angry because we went to the old building and I knew that they changed it because on the phone that they said that they changed it, but they didn't say an address. So we went to the old place because maybe I'm just thinking, I swore I heard this message before last time I did the thing. So I'm like really I was really upset. So I was panicky. I was nervous. I was just all this types because I was scared he was going to tell me something and all this stuff. So I was just worrying about all that stuff. And it was the worst feeling like ever. After that, I went to what do you call it? We found him. He was up the street, and we got in. I was there beforehand, and my anger instantly went away. I'm like, look, we got here in time. They're not gonna charge me money. They're not gonna do anything. I'm not late. That's good. But my mother was still upset, so she had to make it known. She's like, this and stuff like that, and then the lady can't do anything about it. She just apologized, and that's it. So my mom made an appointment with the doctor. I don't know if she went, but basically, I went to go see the doctor, and he was just training a new employee, and like teaching her how to like check for vital signs and things like that. So I don't know. So she checked my heart pressure. She checked my heart rate, my blood pressure, my temperature, what else? I don't know. Anyway, so my temperature was normal. My heart rate was normal. It's like 95, would go up to 97, then 95, 96, around that time. Then they checked my blood pressure, which was 142/80. So he says that that's fine, but it's a little bit higher than he would like it to be. So he's like, okay, cool, good. So he sees, okay, so you're pretty good. So last time they checked me, he said that my cholesterol was a little bit high. So at this point, I have to take another test, which I didn't take yet. I have to fast, so I'm going to do this next week, where I go and they're going to check my glucose levels, my thyroid, and like a couple of other things. They're going to like check like 2 more things. I don't know what else, but they're just going to check and see what happens. So I told them about the problems I've been having with my chest and my arm, and just thinking that it was a heart attack at first and stuff, but then I'm thinking it can't be a heart attack because it's not hurting and it's not being severe, and I can still do things like I normally can, but there's just a feeling there, and it's not like pain, it's just a feeling. And then he's like, well, he's like saying, so you felt pain in your arm? And I said, it's not necessarily a pain. It's like, he says, is it like a numbness? And I'm like, it's not a numbness per se. It's like, the best way I can explain it is if your foot was just waking up from it being numb. Like if your arm fell asleep and then it was just waking up, and it's like in between that state where you can feel things, but you still feel that feeling of numbness, but you feel everything. Like, that's the best way I could explain it. And he's like, okay, good for that. All right. So he says, okay, so you notice that so I told him that these two fingers weren't working very well. And he's like, oh, okay. So that's, okay. So he's like, that's a good sign because it means that it's funny that you mentioned, because I told him that I mentioned that I think it could be a nerve issue. And I told him that, and then he's like saying, okay, good thing that you said that you thought that, because, you know, it's not a heart attack. It's more, it sounds like a punctured nerve thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So he says he doesn't understand what's happening here in the chest. So he says that he asked me, do I suffer from anxiety or depression? I'm like, yep. I'm like, yes, I do. And then he's like, okay, cool. Well, not like that. He didn't say it. He didn't say that. But he just like saying, all right. So he's like saying, I don't know what's happening up there, but to make you feel better, we could do a EKG or AKG, something. So they put all this stuff on me with like these button things, like they're like stickies, and they stick around me. He put some on my ankles, some like right here, some all over my chest, right here on like my side. So they checked my levels. He says, perfect. It was exactly the way what I thought it was going to be for you. Perfect. And I'm just like, okay. So that's good. So apparently I'm good. Everything is fine in that department. That I'm healthy. It's just that he is worried about my anxiety and my depression. So he recommends that I see a therapist. He doesn't think I need to be on medicine, but he says that there is potential medicine out there for me, that if I choose to take it, that I can, that if I choose to take the medicine, that it could help me. So like whenever I go to a social gathering, if I'm leaving the house or something like that, I would take this medicine, and this medicine will be good. He says that the medicine is used by, it's not technically like an antidepressant. It's more for like heartburn or blood pressure or something like that. So he says it's just for like blood pressure and just whatever, but it also has like side effects that could potentially do something. So I haven't looked it up yet, so I really don't know what he was talking about. But it was good that he told me that, and that he gave me the option. So he said he gave me a bunch of people to recommend for mental health. He gave me a list. He printed it out with phone numbers, everything. So I called the person that he recommended that I call, which the person's name is Hope, which that is just so good. Like just that was really cool. Like I found just a person having that name is just so convenient in their job field. So it just fit me perfectly. And I hate to make it about myself, but at the end of the day, you know, this is my life story. So it's from my eyes, my perspective. So therefore, I am making it about me. So I went, and I didn't go see her yet. I called her, made an appointment, told her that I suffer from anxiety, depression, I don't know. So she came back, and she called me back like maybe about 5 hours later. And, you know, she talked to me, and I scheduled an appointment with her next Wednesday. So thank goodness that I'm actually going to go to see a therapist. And my insurance covers it, I think. I'm so happy that my insurance covers it. I am so happy that my insurance covers it. I hope so. I hope it does. Because I don't understand how insurance works. Like, I never grew up, like, understanding all this stuff. Like, when I was a kid, growing up into, like a late teenager, like, going into college and stuff, my mom did all this stuff for me because it was too overwhelming for me. I didn't understand any of it. It was, like, a bunch of information, and I imagine that a lot of people that are 18 years old, 17 years old, about to go to college are hit with all this shit that they've never seen or heard of out of nowhere, and are expected to understand it and know it, which is why a lot of people get screwed, because they don't understand what the hell any of this is. This is why I didn't go to college. This is why I didn't finish college. I started to go to college. I had pretty much a free ride for my first and second semester. But the third one required like a loan or something like that. And then they needed like a W-2 form. They wanted me to take some sort of test on the computer. I couldn't focus. I was just frustrated. My mom got into an argument with one of the guys that was taking the test because she was telling me what to do because I didn't understand. And next thing you know, she was just... it was just a mess. I was stressed. Anxiety was at all-time high. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to college. If they're going to make it this complicated to get into college, especially when you have to pay for this shit, like, why? For what? I'm paying to do work? I'm paying to do work. So that way that at the end of the day, I can get a job to do work and get paid for doing work for just a piece of paper that I have that tells me I can do something. It's just the concept of it is ridiculous to me. It is a waste of money and it is a waste of time that you're going through all this. Sure, there's a lot of positivity to college. There is. There's a shit ton of awesome capabilities and stuff that you can... There's a lot of things. This can lead you to certain scenarios. You have friends and you get to move out of the city that you're in. There's a lot of benefit for it. But in my situation, it wasn't beneficial in any way because no university would take me except for my community college, which was recommended to me because my grades sucked so bad. So when I went to community college, I didn't want to go to community college. I wanted to go for music, performance, which I feel is a waste of time because whenever I try to go for music performance, they made me do music I didn't even want to do. So therefore, school felt pointless. Like, I understand that it's important to learn the classical stuff and things like that, but I'm not going to do any of this stuff. I don't play the piano, so I'm not going to be Mozart. And it's not like they're teaching me something like, oh, you know, this is how you learn how to play the piano. No, that's not what they were teaching me. They weren't teaching me that. They were like, there was piano lessons and things like that, but I wasn't learning anything. The guy was just sitting there in the classroom talking about his freaking life. And here I am, a student just out of high school. The less work, the better. That's my mindset. And instead of taking this shit seriously like I should have, because I didn't know that, and since I was pretty much having a free ride for the majority, for like the first 2 semesters, I go and I realized that I wasted time and I didn't learn shit. So when I realized that I had to pay for this shit, and I'm like, oh no, no. That is too stressful. That is too stressful, and I'm not going to get anywhere in life with this shit. I'm not. Especially with paying for money in a community college for music degree. Fuck that. No. I'm sorry for the curse words. I've been really frustrated lately, and I just need to vent, and I need to let it out. And I'm beyond fucking pissed. I'm so mad with how the world is. I'm so mad. Just everything. And at the same time, it's like, I don't even have to deal with any of this shit. I really don't. I don't. I can turn off the TV and not look at the news. I can block out everything if I really wanted to. And I probably should. It's probably the healthy thing to do. I mean, there was good news, granted. There was a lot of great news, which I'm very happy about. There was a lot of great news, like, you know, just that happened yesterday and things. But at the same time, I'm not going to get political. I don't want to talk about it. But I'm just in the situation where I'm just not, like, I'm just so glad I'm going to see a therapist. And hopefully, she says that she needs to see me for 4 sessions before she can determine if I can be on medicine or if I just should continue counseling, whatever. She says my doctor can provide me medicine if I need it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So now I have a connection thing. My doctor says I can call him anytime that I need him. So I'm very happy that I'm in the scenario that I'm in right now. I've been so stressed for the absolute longest time. Like, honestly, I don't know. I had a great rehearsal on Monday. I went, I was talking to people. I talked to people during my break. I felt a little loose. I felt happy. I was laughing. For the first time, I felt normal. I didn't have no pain here. I didn't have no pain here. No weirdness here. I had, for once, I felt like I was free. No negative thoughts whatsoever. Not one negative thought. I felt normal. And I'm like, this is what normal feels like. I'm like, I remember this feeling. I remember this feeling, and it's amazing. It's a wonderful feeling. And then today I feel like the opposite of that. And I miss and I wish I can go back to that. But it's so hard. So now I just want to go see a doctor and just hope that I can get this shit fixed. I just need to get it fixed. My brain. I hate that part of my brain. And then I was reading this thing earlier, and I know this video is long already, but I don't care. I was reading this thing on Facebook. I follow this page called like Spiritual or Spirit Science or whatever, Spirit Science. And I went to go check it, and there was this video, not a video, but like an article that basically showed like this famous samurai from like the 1500s, early 1600s. He was like this great samurai warrior, great thing, and he lived by like 20 rules and stuff. And oh my god, I broke pretty much like 15 of the rules. But basically, he's just like saying, if you're living alone or whatever, he just basically says, don't focus on possession, don't be gluttonous, basically eat what's filling, not for satisfying or for enjoyment. I'm like, okay. And then he totally like is hypocritical on one of his rules. One of his rules states that stick with your own beliefs and don't think for yourself, pretty much, is what he said. And I'm like, well, that just totally just disbands this whole thing, because I don't believe in the majority of what this is saying. I understand that this could be a level of happiness. Apparently he lived happiness and stuff like that, but the mind is a tricky thing. You know, you can look a certain way. But one of the things that he said in the article, or one of the things that was said in his writings and his rules that I did agree with, was that he says, accept life as it is. Just accept it, because there's no way you can change it. There's no way you can change it. You can't alter the course. You can't alter the course because you don't know what's going to happen. You can't do anything. So at this point, just accept it for what it is. Every human has a certain level of anxiety, depression. Well, anxiety, I don't even know if anxiety was even existed. Basically, it was a rough translation, and they translated it to modern time. Basically, the explanation of what he was talking about, because I think he like spoke in like a rhyme. So it wasn't the official translation. It was just the author of the article's interpretation of it. So it may not have even been correct. But it was an amazing read, nonetheless, just to see somebody's perspective. I'm just, at this point, I accept the fact that I have anxiety. I've accepted the fact that I deal with depression. I've accepted the fact that I accept everything and every flaw of myself. I understand this completely. I don't know how I'm going to change it. I don't know how I'm going to fix it, but hopefully it can get fixed while I have health insurance. So hopefully I can change my life for the better. Anyways, guys, this has been Will. I hope you guys have a great day, and sorry for the rant video, but all these videos are rant videos. They're just a way for me to help myself in this process. On a pain scale, my chest is literally at about a 2, a 1, 2. I clearly feel something there. I feel a little weirdness here, not necessarily a numbness, because I can clearly feel when I pinch. Right here underneath this arm, I feel a little something, and I don't really feel much here, but pretty much on a pain scale, like in total, if you mix all this together, I'm at a 2. So I barely feel anything. I feel okay. But anyways, guys, I gotta go. I'm probably just gonna sit back and watch some TV or something until my boyfriend wakes up for school and for work, and then I'm probably just gonna go to bed. So, peace out. Bye.